Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Commanders versus Panthers NFL matchup on Sunday, October 20th, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pick Dawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Just go to Pickdawgz.com, click on the premium picks tab. We've also got a link directly below this video in the description. Prices start at just $15, but you can use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have products meant for people that make big bets, people with big bankrolls looking for a VIP type experience. We have these, but you just have to text the number you see on the screen. Keep in mind, these are our most expensive premium packages. But let's get to this one. We've got the Commanders taking on the Panthers, and the Commanders certainly one of the teams that have made a big jump forward this season. A little return to earth last week, losing to in a local rivalry game there with the Baltimore Ravens that ended a 4-game winning streak for the Commanders, who opened the season with a loss against Tampa Bay and then reeled off 4 consecutive wins. The thing is that we have to look at those 4 wins. It was the Giants, the Bengals, who have not played all that well, the Arizona Cardinals, but it was a rout in that game at Arizona, and then the Cleveland Browns, who have been absolutely terrible as well. So most of those teams that they've beaten are teams with losing records, but here they are facing the Panthers, who are 1-5 and are really just an absolute mess this season. And with the trade deadline looming and Bryce Young sitting on the bench, well, they're probably getting some inquiries as to maybe they can unload him or deal him somewhere else, which probably isn't a bad idea. If you're not going to play him, you might as well get something for him. But do they think that he's maybe now a project that they need to work on? And I think that, back in the day, NFL quarterbacks, regardless if you were drafted number 1 overall or if you were drafted in the 10th round, which the NFL draft used to be a lot more rounds than it is now, it was 16 rounds. But the thing is that, what we see now is that quarterbacks, because of these short rookie contracts and because of, free agency and all those things, quarterbacks play right away. It's not that they come into the league more talented than they used to. It is pretty much that because of the shorter term contracts and because there is free agency. Back then, guys could sit on the bench for a year or two because there was no free agency. They were locked into their teams. Now, the thing is that, Bryce Young was thrown into pretty much, when you're drafted number 1 overall, it means you've gone to a team that absolutely stinks. And the Panthers, they just still need a lot of help. It takes a while to put together a team unless you're going to really go gangbusters in free agency. And the Panthers haven't done that. Meanwhile, when we look at the Commanders, they kind of a little bit different style team, moving away from what were a defensive juggernaut in recent years and drafting Daniels in the first round. He has turned into an absolute dynamic player. Now, will teams start to figure out exactly what he does and how he does it? Yes, but, can they stop him? And so far, most quarterbacks, can be game planned against. There are those elite quarterbacks, the Patrick Mahomes's, Peyton Manning's, Tom Brady's of the world, where, you can game plan all you want. These guys are these guys, and, we'll have to see if Daniels is one of those guys or, just another NFL quarterback. So far, so good for the Commanders and that draft choice. He certainly looks to be, have all the tools, to get it done, just like he did in college at LSU and, of course, at Arizona State prior to that. Thing is the Commanders' defense isn't what it once was, and 29th in yards per carry against, 5 yards per pop, and the Panthers 9th best in the NFL in yards per carry, but they don't run the football that much because they play from behind a lot. The thing is, passing, they're 8th in the NFL in passing attempts, and that just tells you they're a team that plays from behind, right? Meanwhile, when we look at the Panthers' defense, absolutely undressed because they've been on the field all season long, 29th in the NFL in yards allowed, 32nd in the NFL in rushing attempts against. So once again, they've been playing from behind. The other team has been grinding it out on the ground, trying to chew some clock. Really, only 30th in the NFL in rushing yards against as well. So teams just pounding the rock at them all day long. And the Commanders, 5th best in the NFL in yards per game. 157.3 rushing yards per game is 5th best in the NFL. So they have put a lot of pressure on Daniels. But the thing is, he's number 1 in the NFL in completion percentages, completing almost 75% of his passes. And, while both these teams are, certainly building teams, I just think that even though the Panthers started the rebuilding project earlier than the Commanders did. The Commanders are way ahead of them in the process because the Commanders, at least what they've shown is they can beat the bad teams. And what they face here is a bad team. Look for the Commanders in a rout, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.